Man, I miss the good old days of that monolithic Harvard MBA application essay. 900 words. What more do you want us to know? All good things must come to an end. If you've been grappling with these 3 Harvard essays that are not at all mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive, you are not alone. Self-reflection and self-awareness is always at the core of great MBA essays. So let's do some work together today on your foundation for your Harvard essays. Welcome back to MBA Monday. I'm Angela, career coach, MBA coach. I got my own MBA from the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. I joined the Boston Consulting Group where I used to recruit MBAs from Harvard. And for the last 18 years, I've been coaching applicants to the world's top business schools. I've actually helped over 100 people get into Harvard. So if you're looking for MBA application advice this year, please hit that subscribe button. Here's what we're going to cover in today's video. I'm going to cover insights and thought-provoking prompts that are going to allow you to bring out your very best in each and every Harvard MBA application essay so that your entire application can present a full and coherent picture of who you are. First, a couple of words about my essay writing philosophy. Throughout most of your education, you've been taught top-down writing. You come up with a thesis, you have your idea, you construct the whole essay around that core idea, and the rest of the substance of the essay flows from top down, from that core idea on down. I think this is a terrible way to approach MBA essays because at best, you're going to end up sounding logical and analytical, and at worst, you're going to end up sounding hackneyed and overpolished and trite. It's much more worthwhile to approach your MBA application essays from the bottom up, meaning from your own experiences, from your stories, from the aspects of your life experience that have shaped you, and build your stories on top of that and worry about what the top line says when you get to the end. So your approach to answering any Harvard essay should be, first, start with a catalog of your experiences which you've explored and reflected on. Second, look at each of the Harvard MBA application essays and decide which of your experiences are going to give you the most leverage in answering each individual question. But again, it's arising from the story. Then write the story and iterate. And because these questions are not meaty, like I said in my last video, you may find yourself taking what's written in the curiosity essay and moving it to the leadership essay or moving it to the business-minded essay as you go through the process, and that's perfectly fine. Your goal is to make sure that you're showing all the best of you. Where it fits in the 3 essays is less important. In my last video, I talked about how Harvard evaluates applicants and what their values are and what's most important to them in the admissions process. If you missed that video, you're going to want to go back and watch it. You can find the link right there and also in the description below. The bottom line is that Harvard is looking for leaders, and they have a specific understanding of what leadership means, which they state transparently on their website. I talk about it in that other video. Let's dig into essay 1. The business-minded essay. The question: please reflect on how your choices have influenced your career path and aspirations. Notice the word reflect. In this essay, you're being asked to really address your career, both what has come before and, I believe, implicitly, what is going to come after Harvard. The best way to get at your best answer to this question is to think about the how of your career. How have you had an impact to date? How have you made a difference? How do you intend to make a difference in the future? I say how, and you might immediately go to thinking what? Like, what industry are you going to join? What function will you have? What will be the company or even the title that you'll hold? You might even think in terms of buzzwords like, I'm going to be a leader, I'm going to be a manager, I'm going to build a great culture. But none of that is how. That's all still at the level of what. We need to drill down one layer deeper to really get at your best answer. The how means, how will you go about doing things? So to prepare for this question, I really encourage you to start with the future, to look at your life 5 to 10 years after Harvard and really think about, what does your life look like? Imagine, what are you doing day to day, week to week? exactly what are the qualities and actions and ways that you are making a difference. And since Harvard is about leadership, you're really going to want to think about how you're going to lead. Will you be building great teams? If so, how will you do that? Will you do it by innovating creative processes that make team communication better? Or will you do it by managing and mentoring people more effectively? Really think through how you uniquely have made change happen to date and intend to make change happen in the future. Even if you can't nail the specifics, you should be able to presence a feeling. You should be able to have a vibe of what your mark in leadership is going to be and is going to look like based on everything that has come before. By the way, I've put together an entire HBS essay prep toolkit for you, and you can go download it at this QR code right here or at the link down in the description. It's a set of questions that if you answer them and reflect really deeply on them, and I mean like take time, take days, journal about your answers to these questions, the picture of who you are and who you want to show yourself to be to Harvard will start to emerge clearly. It's like one of those magic eye pictures where it's just dots, but the closer you look, you can see a dragon or a bear or your own leadership future. But it's not enough to have a vision for your future leadership, because here comes question 2. What experiences have shaped how, notice the how you invest in others and how you lead? Now, when you first read this question, you might think that it's mostly about the experiences that have shaped you, and that is a part of this question. But the most important thing really is the how. How do you invest in others, and how do you lead? So this is really about seeing and nurturing the potential in others. Harvard has this great statement in their evaluation criteria. I'll link to who we're looking for in the description below. What they say is, we are looking for individuals who aspire to lead others toward making a difference in the world. So you see, it's not just about you making a difference. It's not about you being the leader and being in charge. It's really about nurturing the greatness in others and empowering them to make a difference as well. It's really like creating an exponential effect. As was referenced in a Harvard College commencement address that you might find really inspiring and that I'm going to link in the description below. So in preparation to answer this question, you really want to think about, where in your career have you seen and nurtured the best in others? Even when it wasn't apparent. You want to look for those times where the obvious choice might have been to do it yourself, or to overlook someone, or to go with the tribe. But instead, you made a choice to see what someone was capable of and to bring out the very best in them. This is just one of a few questions I have for you in that Harvard essay prep kit. But the most important thing here is that you're not just talking about when you were in charge or when you took initiative. It's really about bringing others up behind you and along with you. So put the emphasis in this essay and in your exploration on how you have led and influenced others to be their best selves. For the third question, and I have to say, I really love this question. It's only this question that makes the loss of the monolithic, what else do you want us to know, worthwhile. And here's the question. Curiosity can be seen in many ways. Please share an example of how you have demonstrated curiosity and how that has influenced your growth. So this is a new element to the Harvard application in the last couple of years. They used to prioritize analytical aptitude and appetite, meaning you like numbers, you like to dig into data, you like to, find evidence for things and prove it through analysis. But now they've shifted it to this more internal value of curiosity. Curiosity is always about the unknown. It's not just about analysis. It's about conquering uncharted territory and embracing the discomfort of ambiguity and not having all the answers. So to answer this question, you're going to want to look at the places in your life where you've consciously and concertedly taken an effort to grow and to evolve. You're also going to look at the places where you did something unexpected. You made a choice that maybe everybody thought You were going to go left and you went right. But when you went right, you knew what you were doing and you did it for a specific reason. Those are usually the times where you're embracing the unknown. Just as curiosity is about the unknown, growth is often about persistence. So you want to find the places where you discovered something unknown, you followed a yearning, you ended up somewhere interesting. Versus where you had been before. It can be something big or it can be something really, really small. But look in your experience for those tender moments where you said, I don't know the answer, but I'm going to proceed anyway. I've got a lot more great questions for you to reflect on in my Harvard Essay Prep Toolkit, which I hope you will download and use it to explore your experiences. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it eye-opening to start to look at these deeper questions about yourself, or maybe if you found it confronting and annoying to confront and look at these deeper questions about yourself, then you might want to consider working with an MBA protocol coach to do the spelunking into the deep dive of your character that is really required to put forward the very best application you can for schools like Harvard and Stanford. You can request a call to build your custom MBA guided quest package with a member of our team at the link below, mbaprotocol.com/MBA. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. It just helps other people discover our channel and discover the great free content that we are putting out every Monday. I hope to see you next week on MBA Monday. And if you haven't subscribed, maybe do that so you don't miss a video. I'll see you next week. I've put together an entire Harvard essay prep toolkit. Why is this so hard for me to say? Where have you... Don't panic.
Don't panic, don't panic.